What's going on, guys? JSGC here, back again for another football video where today, football and Manchester City, they're back. We're going to be doing my Premier League predictions ahead of match day number 1 as we kickstart the start of the 2025-26 season. So before I do crack on with this video, make sure, like always, if you are enjoying the content, then do subscribe to my channel. It is free to subscribe. Social media links there in the description if you want to go and follow me on my X, Instagram and TikTok. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up on today's video and do get your predictions in the comments below. Finally, I want to say a big thank you to SofaScore, today's video sponsor, who are going to keep you guys up to date ahead of the start of the Premier League season, where you can stay up to date with all the latest football scores. They're going to keep you up to date with the latest match information, the team news and so much more. Links and details there in the description. Remember, SofaScore, fantastic app, highly rated, free to download, and also not just going to keep you guys up to date with all the latest football scores and information, they're going to keep you guys up to date for all of the sports that you guys love to follow, all in one place, all in one app. So do go and check it out. Links and details there in the description, and anyone that does download SofaScore using my link in the description or the QR code on screen does help to support the future content created here on my channel. So having a look at match day number 1, first game taking place on Friday 15th of August 2025 to kickstart the season is Liverpool at Anfield, the Premier League champions, taking on AFC Bournemouth. 8 PM BST kickoff time, with the game being broadcast live here in the United Kingdom on Sky Sports. Can't see anything other than a Liverpool win for me here. I can see Liverpool bouncing back from their penalty shootout loss in the Community Shield against Crystal Palace, and I'm going for Liverpool to comprehensively beat AFC Bournemouth by 3-0. Now moving on to the Saturday games, first game taking place on the lunchtime kickoff. You've got Aston Villa taking on Newcastle United at Villa Park. That game kicking off at 12:30 PM BST, with the game being broadcast live on TNT Sports here in the UK. I think this might be quite a close game. I can see Newcastle missing the absence of Alexander Isak, who very much still seems like he's on strike. So I'm going for Aston Villa to capitalise upon that, and Aston Villa to pick up a big 3 points, and going 2-1 Aston Villa. To the 3 PM games, you've got Brighton and Hove Albion taking on Fulham in the first of the 3 PM BST kickoff games. I'm going with Brighton to make home advantage count. I think they'll be just too strong for Fulham. I am still predicting Fulham to have a pretty strong season, but I'm going with Brighton to win that game by 2-1. And then you've got newly promoted Sunderland, first game for them back in the Premier League. They're taking on West Ham at the Stadium of Light, and I'm going for a rude awakening for the newly promoted side, and I'm going for West Ham to make their experience count, and I'm going with a 2-1 win for West Ham. Sunderland have made some cracking signings, including that of Granit Xhaka, so we'll see how the new signings do settle in, but I'm going 2-1 West Ham. And the final 3 PM game on Saturday, you've got Tottenham Hotspur taking on Burnley. Tottenham Hotspur now appointed new manager Thomas Frank. I think that's a cracking appointment, and I think they're going to pick up a good, comfortable win against newly promoted Burnley once more, and I'm going 2-0 Tottenham Hotspur. And then the final game on Saturday at Molineux, you've got Wolverhampton Wanderers taking on Manchester City at 5:30 PM BST, with that game being broadcast live on Sky Sports. And I'm going for Manchester City to really put a statement win out there. I think City have made some cracking additions in the summer, including that of Tajani Reinders, caused all kinds of problems in City's final pre-season game in Italy last weekend against Palermo. He bagged a brace, should have had a hat-trick, and that was him only doing one half in that second half for Manchester City. So I'm going for Manchester City if they can get on top of Wolverhampton Wanderers, for City to make the quality count, and I'm going for Manchester City to win that game by 3-0. Moving on to Sunday's game, starting off first at the City Ground, you've got Nottingham Forest taking on Brentford at 2 PM BST, with the game being broadcast live on Sky Sports. And I'm going for a tight game, this one, and I'm going for Nottingham Forest to win this game by 1-0. Nottingham Forest, I think, are going to be too strong for Brentford. It's going to be a pretty close game, but I'm going with Nottingham Forest just to edge the game. Brentford, for me, I can see them having a pretty difficult season, so we'll see how they do get on to start their season at the City Ground. Then moving on to West London, you've got Chelsea taking on Crystal Palace in a London derby. That game also taking place at 2 p.m. BST, with the game being broadcast live on Sky Sports. I believe Sky Sports have introduced for the first time this season, they're going to have multi-screen, where you're going to be able to watch more than one game if they're both being broadcast live and they're kicking off at the same time. So Chelsea's game against Crystal Palace is going to be part of the multi-screen viewing, along with Nottingham Forest taking on Brentford. Anyway, I'm going for Chelsea to make their quality count. I think Chelsea are going to have a pretty good season. I rate the business that Chelsea have done in the summer. Liam Delap, I think, is going to be a good cracking signing, one of the few signings that Chelsea have made. So I think Chelsea are going to be too strong for Crystal Palace, and I'm going 2-0 Chelsea. And then the final game kicking off at 4:30 p.m. BST, with the game being broadcast live on Sky Sports, and arguably the pick of the games this weekend, certainly in terms of stature of the club. You're looking at Manchester United taking on Arsenal, and I'm going for Manchester United. Struggled last season to continue their struggles into this season. They've done some bits of business. I think Mbuemo's been a good signing for Manchester United, but I can't help but feel like there's a heck of a lot more quality that they could have been doing it. They just haven't done, and I think Arsenal are going to be too strong for them, and I can see United struggling again this season, which from my point of view as a City fan is definitely what we want to see. But yeah, I can see Arsenal being too strong for Manchester United, and I'm going 2-1 Arsenal in that game. Now, moving on to Monday night's game, you have got Leeds United taking on Everton at Ellen Road, as Leeds United welcome themselves back to the Premier League, of course, as they are newly promoted as well. And I'm going Leeds to make their home advantage count. This was probably one of the more difficult games for me to predict, because it's a bit of a topsy-turvy game. I can maybe won't rule out this being a draw, but I didn't want to sit on the fence and say I think that's going to be a draw and stuff, so I wanted to pick a winner, in particular for the opening weekend, to go with all winners. So if I can see a team edging it, I'm going with Leeds to edge it, and I'm going with Leeds to win by 2-1 against Everton, and that'd be a cracking start to the season. And we'll see now, finally, if this is going to be the first time in a few seasons where we see at least one of the newly promoted teams manage to solidify themselves as a Premier League team and manage to obviously avoid the drop at the first chance of asking. So we'll see. I'm going Leeds, though, to win that game by 2-1. So they have been my Premier League predictions. Do let me know your predictions in the comments below. Do leave a thumbs up on today's video as well, that'd be much appreciated. Subscribe as well if you're new around here. Press that red button, press the bell, and put your push notifications on. It is free to subscribe. Also, don't forget social media links there in the description as well if you want to go and follow me on my X, Instagram and TikTok. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. And do go and check out today's video sponsor, which is brought to you by SofaScore. And I'll see you all again next week for my Premier League predictions ahead of match day number 2. So I've been JSGC. Thank you everyone for watching. Hope everyone is safe and well. Peace. Ciao for now.